Hello, everybody. Happy December 6th. Christmas is getting close. I'm excited about it. Want to make sure my necklace is laying pretty. So, how are all of you? I came down here 2 hours early. Thought I had plenty of time, and I tell you what. This is what happened. Yesterday, I woke up in a bad mood. And I said, you know what? I can't deal with that studio anymore. The studio was such a mess down here that it was making me not even want to come down here to work, and also resenting having to do the live stream because it's so hard to find anything. Up, no sound? Can you hear now? You hear her? Okay, good. I don't know what that was. I turned it on. So let me know if something happens. Oh, thank you, Miss Polly. I am feeling better and better. In fact, I can move around all funny. I can jog. I can anything now. So, oh, you unplugged your speakers. Oh, that's okay. We understand. Hi, Miss Nikki. So, I came down yesterday and I was in a bad mood because I hate cleaning. I'd much rather be crafting. But do you ever have it where your room gets so messy that you just can't focus anymore? And that's where I was. And I thought, you know what? I need to get this place cleaned up so that I can find what I want to find. I'll feel better about it and I'll want to be in that space. So I worked for hours yesterday. When I came down today, I started right away cleaning some more because I wasn't quite done. And once I get going on something, I told Mark, I am the very definition of inertia. If I'm staying still, then that's real easy for me to do too. But if you can get me up and moving, then I don't want to stop until I'm done. So, but I have a lot of great things to tell you. Even Susan, I'm supposed to have mailed some stuff to you that I haven't done yet. And I've just got to get online and find out how to print out my own labels. I might have to sign up for a postage system or whatever, but I probably was going to want to do that anyway because I'm really loving crafting and I keep talking about setting up an Etsy shop. I'm going to do it. So I probably will need that way to do my postage anyway. But when I was down here cleaning, I found the Bohemian Charm I meant to send to Susan. I had lost it, but I knew it was in the house somewhere. I just didn't know where. And then I also found the little um, miniature degas of my flamingos that I had meant to send her. So now I've got that reverse applique quilt and her charm, Bohemian Charm, and that little thing. I finally put them all in the same package and get them mailed out, for goodness sake. So it's a good thing when you clean. You find all kinds of stuff you had no idea where it was. I've got so much to show you all today. And it's been a busy week for me. In fact, let me go ahead and tell you that. I didn't get any work on the Christmas quilt or the Art Deco quilt that I'm designing. Because remember, I told you I had to tweak it before I get the instructions written out. Well, I was busy this week. And what I was busy doing is I was busy getting the gifts for all my grandchildren. Because of the COVID and the difficult financial situation and my medical bills that are pouring in, we all decided let's just give gifts to the kids instead of giving to everyone. And so I spent all day online. I went to a used bookseller who I had ordered something from and was really happy with it and got all the classics, Hop on Pop, One Fish, Two Fish, all of those wonderful books I remember reading to my children. And I ordered them for my newest grandchildren, about 5 of them. And so I did that at the book place. Then I went to all the different sellers looking for certain things and it ended up at Amazon. And it still took me about 6 hours to do all that shopping. But I think I got it done. And I told Mark, I want him to order for him. I'm going to order for me because during my travels trying to find for everybody else, I would see something that I had wanted. So I said, you know what, hon, this year let's make it easy on ourselves. And then that way, because it's really hard to figure out what to get Mark. It's so easy with me because I love everything. So, there's almost nothing I won't be thrilled with. But anyway, so it took so long. And then working out shipping, I thought, I'm going to pay the shipping to have some of these things sent out to the grandkids because what I'm going to spend to ship them is going to just be more. So I have some things I want to send here, but the things I ordered new from Amazon, I said, ship them. So I'm trying to get all of my ornaments finished and the advent calendars, which, well, they're kind of little. So I will either get them done or wait till next year or, get them done and they can hold on to them for a year. So I'll figure that out. But I got a lot of crafting done and I'm going to get ready and show you that. Let's see who's here. Cupcakes and lasagna. What time do you want me there? So let me see. Okay, who all is here? Susan Smith. Thank goodness. I think I saw my Bonnie. There's Deborah Donnell. Oh my gosh. Wait till you see this picture she sent of her from her sewing room out over a beautiful snowfall. Love it. Love it. Polly. Hello, my Polly. And let's see. Marsha's here. Cheryl, there's my Cheryl Lemon. Wait till you see this quilt that she made for her apartment complex. It is just gorgeous. So, and she's got such a giving heart. Besides being really crafted, I looked at her stuff and I thought, her work could be in a folk art museum. It's beautiful. Wait till you see it. Wait till you see it. So, let's see. And it's so good seeing our Nikki. There's Linda's here. Hello, Linda. And I want to apologize to some of you because you sent me emails and somehow it got hung up out on the big web somewhere. Every day I checked that email box. Nothing would show up. I said, something's not right. So finally yesterday, all these emails downloaded and I had a lot of apologies to make. So I apologize. And there's our Sonia. Gosh, Sonia, it's so good to hear from you, to see you there with us. We're so lucky to have all you wonderful people. And I got an email from a Karen. I think it was Karen. I'm sorry if I got it wrong. Karen or Kathy, um, and helping me out with information about the Merry Mayhem. So thank you, Kathy or Karen. Oh, I hate when I do that. I'm just going to blame my old age. I'm sorry. So let's see. Oh, it is so good to see all of you. So, okay, I think I got everybody. It's so good to see our Nikki. Isn't she just a beautiful summer blue sky? That's our Nikki. So it's so good to see Bonnie. All right. Ah, okay. So that is, I think I've gotten everybody. My eyes aren't working as good as I would like. Oh, cream cheese frosting. Oh, honey, I could jump in the bowl with that. Let me tell you. But okay. You're welcome, Miss Nikki. I hope Santa's going to be good to you, Nikki, because you know what? You're never too old for Santa. Don't forget. All right. So I always start out showing you anything new I bought. And I got this. And remember, I told you I had bought some stuff from a site called IneedFabric.com. So here it is. And these look like the same color, but one of them is dark olive and the other one's charcoal. I'm not sure which is which, but I tell you what, when in doubt, check the selvage. It doesn't have a printed selvage. Now I got these for $5.99 a yard, and so when I got them in, I didn't recommend them until I got them in and saw the fabric. And you can tell this is not quilt shop fabric, but it is plenty good for backing. This is backing fabric, 108 inches wide. I got 3 yards of each piece because I think that would give me 36 times 3 is 98. 98 by 108. I have it. So good enough. Wait a minute. 100. Maybe it's 108 by 108. Can someone do math and do 36 times 3? I think it's 108. So that gives me a big, huge square, 108 by 100. So I get 3 yards. So I'm thinking this is dark olive and this is charcoal. And another thing. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Yay! Okay, another thing. I'm going to wash all of these. If I buy a fabric that's a little bit cheaper, it's just good to run them through the wash first. And then the only problem with that is then you have to usually iron it when it comes out. But if you're careful and you roll it on the bolt carefully, you won't have to iron it before you use it. So there are those two. Now, then I got one. I think this was $6.99 a yard, but you all recognize this one. This is beautiful. So we know this is a good fabric. And let me check the selvage. Do they not mark the selvages on 108-inch fabric? I'm not seeing any selvage labeling. So maybe they don't on 108-inch wide. But 3 yards of 108-inch wide green. So I tried to get colors for backing that I knew I needed. Let me see my receipts here. Evidently, yeah, okay. The light green was $6.99 a yard. All the other stuff, there is a blue in here. Oh, I see which one. This is a medium blue. This is $5.99 a yard for 108 inches wide. And then there's a dark blue. And this is a right pretty pattern. This is $6.99 a yard. So I did really well. And that I rarely make a quilt that's anywhere near 108 by 108. And in fact, I don't think I've ever finished one that big. Let me get these out of the way for you. Or for me, really. Whew, that's heavy. So, as you can tell, I'm moving better, doing better. Thank goodness. But anyway, so that is ineedfabric.com. I can recommend it. They have a lot of sales. This was a Black Friday sale. You won't believe this. A week after I ordered this, they had another sale. And I think they were even a little bit cheaper. So, oh, okay, wait a minute. I was telling you the price of the better sale. These were $6.99, with two of them being $7.99. Then the week later, they went down to $5.99 and $6.99. So, you could have saved $15. What can you do? All right. That's life. But that is a very good price for backing fabric. Normally, backing fabric is anywhere from $11.99 to $15 or $16.99. So I'm happy with it, and that's good. Okay, I am feeling better with a clean room because I had every surface stacked up, and you can't find anything when that happens. And normally I try very hard to keep things straight and organized because you can get so much more accomplished when you keep a straight and organized space. Makes sense. You can find things, you feel more like working in that space. But the problem I've had is so I've had a rough fall. And when I rush to pull, like when I pull fabrics to test them for something, I pull out 3 times more than I need, and then I can bring them over here in the better light and see just the right ones I want. Well, if you're in a hurry, you don't put them back where they were. You just put them on the counter. I have an 8-foot long countertop over there. In a way, it's the worst thing I could have done because it's so easy to sit everything over there. But I'm very happy that I got a lot of cleaning, a lot, and I'm going to tell you, ladies, that Marie Kondo way of folding little stuff is great. The mini comic books way of folding larger pieces, anything from a third of a yard up, is wonderful. It is so nice to roll it on that board, put a big, large paper clip on it, and put it in the bins. So I got to tell you, that is working. That's the best thing I ever did. So now, found the stuff for Susan. I found, oh, it's amazing what you find when you clean up. Over on the table, I had just shoved this with everything else. I found this, and I guess I bought it at Pineapple Fabric. I'm not sure. But isn't this cute? It's a Merry Christmas banner. And you cut it out, and you back it up. Am I able? Whoa. I see what's wrong. Hold on. Thank you for telling me. Okay. What we have here is a dead battery. Okay. All right. Now you can hear me. Thank you for telling me. I hate talking and nobody can hear. So now you see why we keep a strip of batteries in my camera case bag. And this battery is going to go safely in the trash. Don't want dogs or kids to swallow them. All right. Thank you for telling me. Usually no one says, Deb, can you talk louder? So, okay. I knew that battery was going to die soon, but I forgot. When I look on the camera, there's this little screen that I monitor if I'm in the right camera frame. I forgot to check the little sound bar that has these little, as I talk, it goes up, and then when I'm quiet, it goes down. So I forgot to look at that. All right. So anyway, here is the cute Christmas banner that I'm going to make. Now, I'm adding stuff up. I think I'm going to have to give up sleep until the big day. That's the only way I can get all this stuff done. Because I even found a Christmas pattern I'm going to share with you guys. In fact, soon as I show you some things I've been doing, I'm going to show you the new Christmas pattern. I found it online, and you too can get it for free. So I will put the link where you can get it and enjoy it. Let me see who. Designed by Donna Jordan of Jordan Fabrics. Thank you, Donna Jordan. So, and you can work on it with your scraps. The blocks are only 2 inches. So It's easy to do. It's quick to do. She staggers the rows so you don't have to match them. It's a winner. So thank you, Donna Jordan from Jordan Fabrics. And while we're talking about it, let me see. I was going to try to email it to Susan, but I ran out of time. Aha. So what I did is I said, if I copy it and before the show starts, hopefully it'll stick on there and I can just paste it. And guess what? It worked. Yay. I love it when things work. All right, let me move my camera. And I'm going to, you saw it today. And I'm going, is it the one you shared with me? That's where I got it. Oh, that's cute. Okay. So, but I'm going to show you because I've already started it. Last night, I was tired. After cleaning, I took up the fabric. I made a template for a 3-inch square and a 2-inch square. I cut the fabric out sitting there watching TV and hand sewed these 2 rows while watching TV, and then came down today and sewed the rows together. It's a lot faster on the machine. All right, so let me move the camera. Yes, it's a nice, easy one. And guess what? I'm going to decorate it. I've got some miniature ornaments. And you can use buttons and beads and oh, yay. So that I gave you the shortcut. Go grab it. And thank Donna Jordan from Jordan Fabrics. Look at these cutie pies. These are the gingerbread men that I made. And you see, I put a mask on them because these are COVID gingerbread men. Okay. So I've got quite a bunch of them here because what I told Mark is I'm going to give them out to the garbage men or women, to the mail people, everybody, to the little girl who lives next door. When she comes over, I'm going to give them out to my kids, everybody, because they're so cute. And after I show you all my ornaments, I'll show you how I decorate them. Remember, I had the Crayola, self-drying clay, air-dry clay, and then I'll show you what I do with the rest. But I saw this somewhere online and went, oh my gosh. And this is real blue fabric right there. Let me see if it'll, there it goes. It's real blue fabric, but I did a paint thing for that. And you can use, if you want, you can get the paint sticks to put them on, or I'll show you my style. All right, so let me bring this up. As you can see, I've been doing a little bit of crafting. Remember the chalkboard paint I put on the foam ball, styrofoam balls, the smooth ones. And then after I had several coats, I hot glued a couple little things on, put their name and from Nana and the hanger, and then did a little decoration. Because you know, Deb, these are all for kids. And you know, Deb, the more bling, the better for Deb. So here's to my Evan. I used some different colors. But what I'm going to do is I've got colored chalk coming, and I'm going to give each child a few pieces of different colors of chalk. And this is for Mark and I. I made us one too. And what they're going to do is on this side, they can make their own every year. They can make, oh, you know what? I haven't done my, I want to do a baby's first Christmas ornament. I'll have to get busy on that. But this is to my Charlotte and to Devin. But they'll be able to color their own. Donnie, my newest grandbaby, and Kylie. So I've got all those done. You saw last week how I finished this off with fake snowflakes and white paint. Love this thing. You also have seen a bunch of times this one, which is just a styrofoam ball covered in scraps of fabric with glue. All right. You've seen my snowmen. I have one for each family. And that I just took a clear ball, rolled white paint in it, let it dry, hot glued on all of this stuff. And you've seen my button one, and you've seen our, you've seen, no, actually I just left the white glue on the outside. And that seems to have done a good job. I could make it shiny if I did some fabric Mod Podge. But this is our time to quilt. This is our group's ornament. Then I finished up my melted snowman ornament. Oh, the window's coming in. Yeah, the window, see how it... Okay, but anyway. There is the melted snowman. I put a little scarf in them. And then, take care, Bonnie, sweetie. So there's those. I got those all finished. That was easy. All right. Then I finished these completely. I found that this is inkjet printing. So I first sprayed it with an acrylic sealer. Then I was able to put the triple thick acrylic sealer on it. And one thing I found, I had already written in the paint pens, I had written on the back, when I put the acrylic sealer triple thick, guess what? All that came off. So I had to go back on after I was done putting, I think I put 3 coats of, see how shiny it is? So got those done. Now, you know that thank you. I started out doing these dot painting balls, and I think this one came out really good. Don't forget, always sign your work. And I should have put the year on that, but they'll remember that year. So I did some dot painting. Now, what I did with these, once they were fully done, I coated them with some of the triple thick sealer. Okay? Oh, I'll show you the triple. I like it because it dries fast. It dries very clear. I had to order some more. And remember the other container, we couldn't get it open? Well, Mark finally chipped off the lid and I got a different container. But if you get a container like this, you've got to keep the lid clean and the edge of the jar clean, or else you won't be able to open it. So when I went to look for some more, I found it was cheaper to get these little bottles. Michael's had these 2-ounce bottles, 12 of them for $17. So it was actually cheaper, and now it won't go bad because I'll keep each one sealed, just use one little one at a time. Because with all my paper bead making, you can, oh, that's a good idea. Thank you. You like this one. Isn't that pretty? I like it because it's so bold. So that's the triple thick. Let me see. Hold on. I forgot to tell you. It's a Deco Art is the maker. Deco Art triple thick. This is technically my Christmas present, but I wanted to tell you about it. Brush on glaze. I love it. And supposedly it dries to the most crystal clear look, because I checked a lot about a year ago. And I finished this. This is for my daughter-in-law. She loves purple, so this has got a beautiful purple look to it. But these I took and coated with the triple thick, the Deco Art. That way they won't easily scratch off. All right, I think I showed you this I was working on. I ended up coming in with the Lumiere Jacquard paint and did pink in the center of some of those white dots. Then I did this one for my daughter, and I put something, the same design but larger on the other side. as I get them complete. This is a multi-step process because I put the dots on, some of them run. I have to go back and touch them up, sometimes redo it, wait, let them dry, make sure they're straight and pretty, scrape them, all that. And this one I did a scene on the back with some snowflakes and put a gold ornament on top of the tree. But here's a giant snowflake. Then I did this one, which has some snowflakes, and then this giant, I guess, giant snowflake or some kind of design. So I was doing those, and I like them pretty good. Now this, see where I've got to go back and touch this up? And when I touch it up, sometimes I have to take the whole dot off, put another one on there. But it's easy. Like I told you, just take a skewer or toothpick, and the wood takes that extra paint off. Can you see how that paint's just coming right off? But this, what happened with this one is I must have accidentally bumped it with my hand. But you can take that off. Sometimes the dot looks so bad, I just take the whole dot off. And then I put it back, like this one ran. This ran. So some of these will run if I squeeze too hard or whatever. So then I let it dry. I come back and I carefully take a toothpick or a wooden skewer and I scratch the excess off. So these balls are cheap. The white paint is cheap. You can get a set of 4 of these little bottles for $1.99 from Michael's. And I just sit and play with them. And then I take the diamond glaze. When it's completely perfect, I will glaze it. So then you can't just sit and scrape it off. Once it's glazed, it's set. So it takes me about 4 times messing with it to get it good enough to put the glaze on. So I was sitting there the other day. Now, I would make some of these, but I found that some of them were closer together, some were farther apart. They weren't as neat and tidy as I wanted them to be. So I took up some of my quilting tape, and this way I can take a piece of tape and I can put it on the ball. And as long as you don't stretch it too hard, you can get a perfectly straight line. Use that as your anchor. And that's what I did with this one. I had a piece of tape at all of these sections, so I knew how big each section had to be. And it worked really good. So this is just quilter's tape that I got this when I used to hand quilt. But you know what? I don't hand quilt much anymore. And I thought, I've got rolls of this. How am I going to use it? Well, now I've realized that I can do this when I design my Pysanky eggs, and I can use it when I do these. And just tape it on, work right up to the tape, remove the tape, fill in that seam. But this one's not perfect yet. It's got a couple more areas that need to be cleaned up. But I just thought I would show you this one. I feel like it has a beautiful Asian Indian look. In fact, Mark said, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the henna painting that people do on their hands. But I'm getting better at it. I just wanted to show you I am getting better. But it does take a little practice. All of that was done with this little bottle. It's called a needle tip bottle. And it comes out really thin. A tiny little thing. It depends on how hard you push it, how much of a design you'll get. So I think that this, yeah, it does. I think this looks really cool. And I just look online and find ideas for dot painting. And now though, I've got something new. I started on the back of this doing the little scenery, and I went, oh, I like that. That was easy too. Because the other ones take a lot of time and a steady hand. And so then, let me show you the first one I painted. I had this ball right here, and look what I did. I looked at a scene, and I just painted it. And this took me all of maybe 10 minutes to do. just using that little bottle on the ornament. And then when I knew this one's already been coated with the triple thick from Deco Art, and this just needs a ribbon on it, and it's ready to go. And it was easy. For me, it was easy. This is probably my favorite. And then I did this one. I said, I want to do a church. And I did the trees. And sometimes if the paint gets running and it fills in too much, I'll come back with the skewer and just I'll scratch a little. Oh, that's right. Has this one had? Yeah, this has had triple thick. That's why it doesn't want to scratch. Because these I had completed, so I coated with triple thick. But I love this, and I love the little fire, the smoke coming out of the chimney, and I love the little snowflakes, and the trees, and the snow. And this took me maybe 15 minutes. Isn't that sweet? Now, this is my favorite one. This ball had all kinds of colors in it. And this is these balls I did using the polyurethane and then the glitter. And I've got more glitter coming and more balls. And what I did is I found a dark blue swath. So I said, I'm going to make that a water feature, and then it's going to come down here and go off. So this is supposed to be a creek with a little shine on it. And then I try to do the trees in threes. I did a little cabin kind of socked into the snow with the smoke. Then I did a moon and did slight little tiny lines to show the moonbeams coming down. And that's why I put the white on the water to show that moon. And then did 3 more trees. And having the snowflakes coming down on the glitter is really, really pretty. So I think I am going to do a few of these, and I'm thinking that maybe I will sell these on Etsy for maybe $5 a piece, and that way I get the joy, always sign it, I get the joy of making something, and if it can pay for my habit, then that's a good thing. All right, so that's all of the painted balls, and I've got over there beyond the iron, I've got a couple more waiting, and then I have to wait until my new Michaels order comes in to do some more of the balls. Okay, so I thought I would show you how do I do these gingerbread men. And I like showing you how I do this stuff because if I can take out some of the mystery, then it's a good thing. So here we go. I've got a little bottle of black, and this is just acrylic, any of those cheap acrylic. And then this is a brown one, because when I start doing scenery, I'm going to put some brown and then some dark green in it, but I'm going to try to keep it pretty monotone. And here's my white bottle. This bottle has not been washed out since I started doing this stuff a couple weeks ago. What I do, sometimes it didn't even block up. You see how I made that dot come out? So now I'm going to lay these little guys in here. And before I do that, I'm going to show you that I take these gingerbread men and I take a paint pen and I write my name like this and the date. So Deb J 20. So that's what I do first. Now, these little men, I use the air dry clay, let them dry for a couple of days, turning them over to make sure both sides are completely dry. Oh, I'll have to do a little touch up. Sometimes they'll pick up a little paint. But anyway, and I turn them one side to the other side to make sure they're dry. Okay. And right now I have 4 more. So I'm just, as I feel like making them, and I just took the clay and did them all by hand. I never ended up using a cutter because you know what? I kind of like doing them by hand. So now I take this white bottle and I come along near the outside of the arm and I go down to the side. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Whoops, come on. Come on. Why is it? Okay, good. I come down off the side of the arm, start the paint by giving it a gentle squeeze, then I come up and do a zigzag and off the other side. And then I come up to the neck and I do a zigzag down here. Then I know that I'm going to have a mask. Now, I wait until after I've got the blue fabric glued on, but hopefully I'm doing it in the right area. But I do this, and once I glue the mask on, which is just a little piece of fabric with white glue, then I'll come and outline the fabric, and that really seals it good on there. Then I come over here, I come down off the edge and do another zigzag and down. Then I come to the feet. So anyway, these dried the off-white of the Crayola Instant Dry. And you probably could do this with, you know how you can make a dough with salt and flour? You could probably do that too. And so that's how I paint on those. Then I keep a pin in this bottle because I noticed that the black bottle wanted to clog up. So come up here and I put the eyes up a little high because I want them to show over top the mask. And I do a nice tall dot, a nice full dot there for the eyes. And then I found that having a little eyebrow, and I do them to the side like that because then that way the gingerbread man looks like, oh no, what happened? It gives him a little expression. Then I come down to his chest and I do what are supposed to be the little raisin buttons. And I do 4 dots down here. And make sure they're nice and rounded, puffy paint. Okay? So that's what I do. Then I glue on the mask. When it dries, I just do 1 dot of glue, put it on, rub it on, and I wait until after this paint is dry, and then the glue is dry, and then I take the white paint and I outline it. And these, you'll see that I remembered to put a hole in them. So that's how I do these. Now, when this is all completely dry, then I take the triple thick Deco Art glaze and I glaze the front, let it dry. I glaze the back, let it dry. I come back and glaze the front because I think they're the cutest and they're more sturdy when they've got a couple layers of glaze. I like that shine. So there they are. And I just think these are the cutest. Oh, this is how I put the hangers when I forgot to put a hole in them. I just hot glued them all the way here to make sure they would hold well. So that is how I do my little gingerbread ornaments. And it's easy and a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And when I'm sitting around the evening, I'll just make some more. And anybody comes to my door, I'm going to give them one. So anyway, that is that. Okay. Let me put this back up. All right. I'm going to talk again about some exciting things coming up that I want you to know about. Because you know what? It's a tough year with all this COVID stuff. And I find myself sometimes getting a little depressed. And so I want to try to find some things to make me feel more excited and make me feel better. Online one day, I happened to find this, so I printed it out. I thought, how cute to have a Christmas applique border on your quilt. And guess what? Okay, you might not know this. This is a really good thing. Do you see this little 1-inch block? Okay, that is a gauge. That is to show you if, when you print it, did it print to the right size? Because every printer does a little bit different. Well, I can tell you right now, that is not 1 inch. That is not. And I will prove it to you. Well, this doesn't. Let me get something that shows up good on the paper. Okay. I'm going to put this right below the block. And you can see it is 1/8 of an inch off. So what this tells me, yep, it's 1/8 of an inch off. Now, that's not a problem if it's just an applique. When you cut out the applique, just cut a smidgen past the line. But if this were a template for a pattern and this is off, it's going to mess up your whole pattern. Nothing will fit. So that gauge is there for a reason. And if in doubt, just hold up this, not this knuckle, but this one right in there. That's usually about 1 inch. And so if you don't have your ruler right there, just kind of hold your knuckle up. And this is not much off. It's 1/8 of an inch. But think, if that were a pattern, that 1/8 of an inch would grow every time you use that shape. So be very careful. And it's just 1/8 of an inch, but that will compound over time. But here are the cute holly leaf and the berry. And I'm just going to keep this. I mean, I can draw my own holly leaf and berry, but this is to remind me to think about doing that. And if you used fusible on the back of them, you could iron them into place and then go around and just do an easy little stitch. You could do a light zigzag. If you wanted to, you could use satin stitch, but that's way too much work for a dab. Or you could do a straight stitch near the edge. So what a fun way to finish off any pillow, Christmas quilt you want to do. It's just beautiful. I love that. So designs and things I want to save, I always fold like this, and I have my stack of things. And this tells me, if it's a technique that I want to learn to do, I fold it this way. And that way, at a glance, I can tell you what is a pattern, what is a technique. Okay. Let me put my rulers away, because now that I've got the room clean, I want to keep it that way. So hold on just a second. All right. The exciting thing that now I want to share with you is that Mary May is having a free New Year's Day mystery quilt. Now you might say, I don't know. I looked on here and it doesn't have anything. I need to learn to write this stuff down. I always think that the printer is going to have it on there, but I tell you what I can do. I can put this on our group. Oh, that's wonderful. Your hubby's son finally. Oh, that's wonderful, sweetheart. Way to go, Vicky. I'm thrilled. I hope he keeps getting better and better. So here is Mary Mayhem. I've been doing hers for 10 years at least. Yeah, 10 more, probably more than that. And I love them. And they make really nice quilts. In fact, last year, I don't know if you remember, but I did one in purple and green. And it was gorgeous. So she's going to have another one. She's already put out part 1, and part 1 is this page, and it's the front and the back. So all you have to do to participate in this is to sign up for her free newsletter, because she sends the links in here and then tells you what site to go to. New Year's Day, she's going to, okay, let me start back at the beginning. Hold on, let me get comfortable here. Okay. She put out part 1. This tells you how much fabric you need, and she gives you suggestions on how to mix and match your colors. Because one thing a lot of people didn't like about mystery quilts, when the fabric went up about 10 years ago, everybody started going, oh, that's kind of expensive to use for a quilt. I don't know what it's going to look like, because some patterns, are better than others. Well, Mary May, she was right on that. She makes sure that she describes the fabric so well that when you're done, you're going to like that quilt. Now, what is a mystery quilt? A mystery quilt is a quilt that you start making, and all you're given is what kind of fabric to choose and what sizes to cut it. You have no idea what the finished product's going to be. Well, why would you want to do that? Well, the best thing I found, I told you I'm a little challenged when it comes to sewing accurately and carefully. I have good intentions, but I often get too impatient and don't take the time I need. What I found is by doing mystery quilts, I improved my skills so much, because all I could focus on was that step, that hour. I couldn't rush ahead. I had to take my time and pay attention. I didn't have all the instructions. I only had one instruction at a time. So I couldn't get all distracted, because you know me, I'm a squirrel kind of girl. So anyway, this really improved my sewing skills. Yes, quilt testing really improves your skills too. I wasn't a good quilt tester, because I read the instructions for how to cut it, but then I just look at the picture and go, oh, I know what they want me to do. Whoops, that's not being a good quilt tester. Mark told me I would be terrible in the IT department of a computer company, because you have to follow one instruction at a time to make sure that she's written them down accurately and in the right order. So I wasn't any good at helping, So I don't do that anymore. And you know what I've learned? Do what I'm good at. What I'm not so good at, if it's not important, don't do it. Or if it causes me too much stress, I don't do it. So anyway, but sign up at marymayhem.com. And this year we're doing case 145, a Mary, Merry, medallion. And her quilts are quality. So I'm so excited. So she lists all the yardages, the colors. She even gives you an example page to say, if you pick a busy design like this, then you need this many solids and that many blenders, or some with smaller areas of design. So this right here, it's going to take me 2 weeks to make sure I get it straight. Then on December 25th, she's going to put out the first clue. So you'll get a chance to sew. You'll get a chance now. If you hurry up and sign up for a newsletter, you'll have a chance to download this and shop your stash. I challenge you to shop your stash if you possibly can. And she gives you perfect ideas of how to choose that stash. And, if you don't have enough, or you just want to, then go shopping. You can do it online. And so anyway, then this gives complete cutting instructions. If you want to be successful at a mystery quilt, you really should follow the instructions perfectly pre-cut your fabrics like she suggested. And when she gives out clue 1 on Christmas Day, find a day in that week between Christmas and New Year's to complete what she gives you on that list. Then have your sewing area ready. Have your machine in good shape. Clean out underneath that bobbin. Get it looking good and running good. Have a brand new needle. Okay, a good all-purpose needle, sharps. Then have 5 or 6 bobbins wound. Be ready. Have your thread lined up. Have a spare spool. A nice neutral. I highly recommend gray. Gray is my go-to neutral. It's perfect for any color. And I have light or dark. So depending on what colors I pick, I can get just the right gray. So have 2 spools of gray if you can, and have your bobbins pre-wound, because it's all fun and games until the bobbin runs out. Then have a nice big glass of water or whatever you prefer to drink, hot tea, coffee, whatever. Have some snacks. Make sure, if you like chocolate, have some chocolate handy. Have your lunch made. Make sure everybody knows, leave me alone on New Year's Day. Don't bother me unless the house is on fire or you're bleeding to death. Otherwise, leave me be. And you get in front of your machine by 9:30. Lay everything out neat and orderly. Have your iron ready in your whatever ironing thing, and have your cutting mat and your cutter. Make sure you got a sharp blade and your rulers. Just a good general ruler, and wait, and at 10 o'clock, you go to the site, or she'll send you an email saying ready. You go to the site, and good job, Susan, that was good advice. And go to the site and download and print clue, the first clue of that day. Then get busy and do exactly what the clue says. Then at 11 o'clock, you'll be ready for the next step and go through that. And if you are on the ball and pay attention and work on it each hour, by the end of the day, you'll have a quilt top, what we call a floppy. So I'm excited, and don't panic if you can't get all the sewing done in that hour. But what you can do is the next hour, put aside the blocks you got completed, start the 11 o'clock block, start then. And you might only get half of it done, but that way you're ready to move along at the next step. Sometimes Mystery Quilts will have a chat site. I am going to be here New Year's Day. So I don't know if any of you are wanting to do this and there's not a chat site. Let me know. Our time to quilt at twc.com, and I will send you a link to a Zoom or a Jitsi. Okay, so if you're going to be working on it that day, and that way we can chat while we're, and the nice thing about a Zoom is you don't have to type in, so we can all hear each other. But that way we'll have a virtual quilting bee on New Year's Day. Now, if you can't, yes, we are going to Jitsi. And Linda said she needed to reach you because we want to do a slow sew Jitsi. And maybe this week, I don't know what your schedule is like, but maybe this week we could do it. It's so funny. I was sitting there in November going, oh, I've got plenty of time. I'm working on all this stuff early. Then all of a sudden, December 1st hit. And I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm way behind. Oh no. So now I'm like a little panicky. And that's another reason I'm glad I cleaned the room. Because how am I going to find fabric if it's here, there, and everywhere? So anyway, if you could look behind this thing, I've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, brown, purple, neutral, all these stacks waiting to go back in the bins. So then, as soon as I go back in the bins, I'm picking my Merry Mayhem fabric. Now, so that is all, that's all free all free. If you want to give a $3 donation, there's a little thing on the site. And in the past years I have, I'll decide this year. Now, if you have a little bit more money to spend, she's going to announce on, is it New Year's Day or Christmas Day? She's going to announce a quilt along. And this is something that's going to be over a period of time. So it won't be a big rush in one day. It might be one clue a week or one clue a month. I don't know, but she will announce. If you want to participate in that, she would like a donation of $12.99. That includes her custom pattern, her instructions, and all of that. That's the cost of a pattern. You will get a complete quilt along, and I think that would be lots of fun. You know very well there are some quilt alongs that are free, but so many of them, like if you did a block of the month at a guild or a shop, it's going to be more than $12.99. So it's a good deal, and I'm going to do that one too. Another thing I'm going to do during this COVID time when we're stuck at home, and I mean, the numbers are outrageous, people. So please be safe. Please be safe. And, but we're stuck at home. Well, Mancuso is going to do the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Show, and it's going to do it virtually, which they have done the last couple quilt shows. So I just got the notice that the registration is now open. Guess what I'm going to do after we get off here? Yes, I'm going to find a class to take. Now, those classes are probably going to be about $70. But you know what? I haven't been able to go to a retreat or a class or a symposium or a show or anything. Just like you, we've been stuck at home for 9-10 months. I'm going to spend some money. Even though I got in a $1,400 hospital bill, and that's not even all of it. That's just the first part. I'm still going to treat myself to a class because I told Mark, as a teacher, I need to also learn. If I don't keep learning, then I'm going to get stale and burnt out. So I need the excitement of taking a class. So I'm going to be signing up. Mancuso, go to their site and click on the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Show, and they're going to do it virtually. You can enter a quilt into it, and you can take classes. You can listen to lectures. It's all going to be online, and that will be a lot of fun. Also, keep an eye on Bonnie Hunter supposedly is doing a quilt along. Then don't forget the quilt show. Alex Anderson's been doing a wonderful job. And so just kind of know there are things out there to keep your mind active, you physically active, because when I am working on this and taking classes, I'm a lot more active. And check. The Quilt Show, if you go to thequiltshow.com, sign up for their newsletter. It is free. And oh my gosh, there's so much you get just for free. I at times have joined for the year. I kind of have to look at my yearly budget and go, do I join the American Quilt Society? Do I join the Quilt Show? You know, how many things do I want to join? How many magazines do I want to take? And I have to kind of constantly balance that. So, but anyway, that is what's going on. I like telling you because we need to get through this together. I know people are getting tired. They're tired of being in. They're tired of not seeing the grandkids. They're tired of not seeing their friends. But please hang in there for 3 or 4 more months. Hopefully then we can start seeing the vaccinations picking up, and they will let us know when it's safe to go out. So hang in there. You've already made it 9 months. Just give us 3 or 4 more months, and then we can try to start life as normal, whatever that will be from now on. Okay, guys? What's going on? If any of you, oh, there's Robin Boyd. Nice to see you. Okay, so let me double check that I've talked about everything. And please remember that got the new fabric. I painted the Gingerbread Men. Okay. And find a hobby you love. The best thing for my mental health has been working on all these ornaments. All that cost was $9.99 Michael's 25 plastic ornaments and some paint. That has made me so happy. Maybe a little bit of glue, but most of the stuff I had around, that has made me so happy. And that and my paper bead making. Oh my goodness. I haven't been doing quite as much this week. So I had to kind of break that habit because I tell you what, how many paper beads do you need? But for my Santa, I have ordered some beads to go with it so I can actually turn the paper beads into necklaces, bracelets, and different kinds of things. Because I said, I made all those wonderful things. Now I just need to trim them up, put on triple thick deco art glaze, and string them up. So, all right. Well, I'm going to get ready in just a moment and show you how to make this. And I already gave you the link. And you can go. It was made by wonderful Donna Jordan for Jordan Fabrics. And you can go to that link and download this. People are so nice and so generous. And think if you need some fabric, don't forget her wonderful site and their wonderful fabrics. And her husband hand cuts the fabric. So if you like jelly rolls, but you don't like all the zigzaggy edges, Jordan Fabrics has the answer for you. He hand cuts them so they're all straight. You get the full 2.5 inches, no zigzaggy. So if that means something, if that means a lot to you, and tell them who sent you. I want some of these companies that we appreciate to know that we're getting the good word out. Pineapple Fabrics. Oh boy, if I'd only woken up earlier. I need to stop going to bed at 2 a.m. because I don't get up early enough to get the good sales. They had gorgeous Jenny Buyer batiks for $4.99. By the time I got up and hit the thing real quick, sold out, sold out, sold out. All that was left is an ugly yellow. And I know that you'll hardly ever hear me say this ugly Jenny Buyer fabric, but this one was. And so I didn't buy it. But all the purples and the pinks and they were gone. I missed it. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to now show you your pictures. Then we'll come back and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make this. This is a small enough project. If you wanted to sew it by hand in front of the TV with a little blanket over your feet to keep warm, this is the project for you. So let's go look at the pictures. All right. Here we go. I will get back to the Christmas quilt next week and the Art Deco quilt, I promise. All right. Let me get this turned. Find my mouse. There's my mouse. And let's look at your gorgeous. I got to turn this so that we don't get too many. Let me turn out the overhead light so we don't get the glare. Okay. Here we go. Let me turn off this one too. All right. Let's go to your photographs and see. Oh, Robin, I hope you do get through the COVID quickly, but take it easy. Oh. Okay, let's see. But what I was also trying to tell you about, if you have a hobby that you Oh, I know. I can show you that real quick. If you have a hobby that makes you happy and won't break the bank, it's worth $10 or $20 to have something that makes you so happy and that you can enjoy. Now, I get ideas from the web, from everywhere. And let me show you. You can go out there on the web and look at, it will have examples of these things. And I usually don't like to copy exactly. I will do an approximation. Come on, photograph. Okay, here we go. Come on. There we go. So they will have photos of all kinds of ornaments, dot painting. This is on rocks. But they'll have all kinds of ornaments that you can make. Now that one's pretty. I want to do one of those. That would take using a paintbrush and swiping on some pearlescent or metallic paint and then doing the dots over it. So I'm going to try that. But look at this stuff. It is just amazing. So I just wanted to show you that you can find so many things to do. Okay, so it's all out there and it's free to use as an inspiration. Okay, I'll close this one down, go back here and here. Then I said, well, I want to find a bunch of winter scenes. So let me show you this. Okay, hurry up. So I first started with show me winter scenes painted on a ball. Then I just said, well, show me winter scenes. And this is what I got. And this is why I wanted to get some brown paint and some green paint. And mostly have the white, but do have, because most of these nighttime scenes aren't very bright. And but look how easy. Isn't that neat? And that looks so pretty on an ornament. So this is what I'm going to be working on. There's a Bob Ross painting. But I just got a bunch of ideas. That is so cute. That give me an idea. And I make it my own. I look at that. It gives me an idea. And then I make it my own. So just want to let you know, this is all out there on the internet. And just click and put it in a folder and you will have it to paint it on the ball. So there you go. All right. And I'd like to do one of these, but I have to really concentrate on that. I'm not as good as Miss Linda. Miss Linda paints the most beautiful scenery on things. Let me see. Miss B, I love to just show you her Christmas card. She said she's making more cards for all of her friends and family. Absolutely beautiful. Lame satin, solids, beautiful. Okay, now let's see who else we have. Miss Bonnie. Miss Bonnie set a beautiful Thanksgiving table. I love seeing this. And look, she's got her Christmas quilts and things in progress. No, I guess those are done. All of these are completed hanging there. Just lovely, Miss Bonnie. I love it. Miss Bonnie knows how to celebrate. So now let's see. Is there anything? Oops. Maybe go this way. There is her rail fence Christmas quilt top she finished. And her Jacksonville red work quilt, Christmas quilt. So way to go, Miss Bonnie. Then here's Cheryl Lemon. And what she did is her group where she lives at her nice big apartment village, they needed some Christmas decorations. So what did Miss Cheryl do? Look at this. Look at the horse pulling the tree. Look at the covered bridge. Isn't this beautiful? It reminded me of a beautiful folk art piece. It's just lovely. So she did this beautiful quilt and then donated it to where she lives, and wait till you see. They made a whole display around this, and it's just beautiful. She's just something else. And she thanked me very kindly for introducing her to the whole landscape genre, because I think that it brought out her inner artist in a huge, huge way. So way to go. Here are some close-ups of some of the areas. Look at this. Look at the house. And this is collage landscape. It's cutting and gluing down, then sewing down. I mean, isn't it wonderful? If you can cut out paper dolls, if you can cut out construction paper. Now look at this snowman she made. Isn't that beautiful? She is an excellent maker of dolls and animals. In fact, I will show you. Well, you probably can't. No, you can't see it. I'll have to show you in a minute what she made for me to take to the hospital. And I love it. Now, look at the window display. It features her quilt, her snowman, and then some Christmas trees. Is that beautiful or what? And she donated it to him. She's such a giving, generous person. Way to go, Miss Cheryl. Big, big kudos to Miss Cheryl. Last week, I forgot to show you my stuff. So this week, I'm going to go ahead and show you now so that I don't forget. Anyway, here is my grandson, Devin, my granddaughter, Kylie, and my daughter, Katie, and they're decorating their tree this year for Christmas. And her dog, Buford, who is so cute. So they're decorating for Christmas. Then let me see. This is my daughter, Becky, my daughter, Katie, and my grandson, Devin. They talked Devin into doing face masks. I think that is precious. One of the reasons we love Devin so much. He's such a good sport. Then they did bleach out sweatshirts, where they did different designs on sweatshirts using bleach to change the color. So that's wonderful. And this is Devin, that's Katie, and this is Kylie. That is terrific. They had such fun. Then here they are buying the Christmas tree. My daughter, Becky, my daughter, Katie. They were up on the Eastern Shore, of Maryland. That's where Katie lives. And here's Katie in the kitchen making our favorite sourdough rolls. I haven't posted that recipe yet. I better get busy. And here is my son and Russell. Isn't that cute? They all met outside with masks on and stayed 6 feet away, except for Becky. They wanted to see those babies. And as long as they wore their mask, the parents said, sure. This is little Donnie, who's now 3 months old. I love that little wrinkled brow look. That is so cute. And he evidently is quite the love bug. Here's his mama, Nikki, and him all wrapped up while they're visiting. There's Katie out with Russell, showing Russell the sheep, because Katie has a little farm. And he wasn't afraid of the chickens or anything. Then I don't think I can get this working, but there was a video of little Russell. He's looking in the feed can, grabbing handfuls of sunflower seed to put in the bucket. The only problem is once he put it in the bucket, then he dumped it on the ground. So I don't think the chickens got any of that sunflower seed that day. But how cute is that? That's my little Russell. Okay, let me see. I might be able to get the video going. Let's see.
Thank you. Makes the video better. Can you reach it? Oh, put up that seed. Good job, Russell. Get it.
He's 20 months old. So he puts it in the container. Oops, back out it goes. But he had such fun with that. All right, let me go back to here. And here is Donnie on the quilt I made him and loving all the designs on it. And there's my Donnie. Look at that face. What a sweetheart. And I thought this was so cute. I just had to show you. I got this. This was a GIF off of an email. And you got to love these cartoons. The way he carves that turkey. If only it were that easy, huh? And out comes there, got the wishbone. But happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a nice one. Oh, and one more picture of Donnie. He loves sucking on his thumb. I can't wait to see that little boy. Hopefully I'll see him before he turns a year old. But I can't wait to hold him. And he's a snuggle bunny, so hopefully he will let me hold him. All right. Now let's see what Deborah Donnell's been busy doing. They've had snow up her way, so guess what? She put that time to good use and has been quilting. Remember, Deborah Donnell got a new long arm. And this one, I'm gonna y'all help me out with this one. It came from a quilt kit she made, and she's all worried that she didn't do a good enough job with her thread painting, that it wasn't good enough. It's supposed to be a gift for her niece. I told her that niece would love it. Whether it's perfect or not, it means more the fact that she made it than it being perfect. And I told her, give that to that niece because those gifts are precious. Here is her big new long arm. Let's get this picture up so you can see it good. Look at that beautiful room with all the windows. Look outside those windows at that beautiful Maine snowstorm. And then look at her gorgeous, huge long arm and the quilt she's working on. I think she has it made. If that doesn't look like heaven, that's my idea of heaven. That is beautiful. Way to go, Deborah. So I'm tickled. Give that gift to your niece, and everybody's going to be happy. And this, I've shown you this a couple times. This is Diane 57 sewing machine cover. Nice job. I love the colors. Those are my colors. Jody, I can't get rid of these photos. I showed them to you dozens of times, but they're so amazing. I can't get rid of them. So I would love her to enter that in a quilt show. I think it is top shelf, as they say. Now let's see what Miss Linda Mccollum has been doing. And I showed you this before. This is her slow stitch. And it's one of the new things she loves to do. And I do too. Embellishing is so much fun. Taking scraps of something and making an art composition out of it. Fantastic. Way to go. Look at the painting in these. Now that is talent. Isn't that beautiful? Woo, beautiful. And here are some wonderful, she used to make these glass icicles. They're gorgeous. Okay, she's been doing some more slow stitching. Look at all these gifts she made. Isn't that amazing? Way to go, Miss Linda. Then look at all of these ornaments that she made for people for Christmas. She works on these when she has a chance to just sit and relax. And how wonderful. It's like, I don't know, having made these things and having gifts for everybody is, to me, it's money in the bank. It's even better than that because it was a little part of you that you made. So I think those are gorgeous. Thank you, Miss Linda. Thank you, thank you. All right. Now, did I miss one? Let me see. I'm not sure if I missed one or not. Nope, I got that one. Okay. I'm trying very hard this week not to miss anybody's. Diana Wright. Let's see what she's been doing. Okay, last week I showed you this rooster. Pardon me. That's a hen and chicks. Because I guarantee you, roosters don't take care of those babies. That is her cute Pat Sloan quilt. Then here is I do believe this is an editor sitar that she's got on the frame. Look at that. I think it's called Snowflake. Beautiful. And look at this. Now, I'm going to bring this bigger because it's just too pretty. I want you to see all the detail that goes in this. It is gorgeous. Quilting is just as beautiful as her piecing. Beautiful. Diana Wright is very gifted. Very gifted. And she's always been like that no matter what she's doing. So, look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Way to go, Miss Diana. Then this is an editor sitar. Nature, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but let me enlarge that. She got that finished. That is exquisite. Okay. Here it is from a distance. These are, I don't know if they're placemats or it's just one table runner, and it is beautiful. And look, the opposite corners are curved. That's a nice little touch, just very distinctive. I would say that's a table runner then. Okay. There's a close-up of it. Let me bring it up. Come on. There we go. Look at that. And I love the trapunto look of the pumpkin. If you put a little extra layer, you can do that too on your quilts. Just put an extra layer of batting. And then when you quilt it, it will puff up like that. There's the Pat Sloan. Here's Alex Anderson. Here is her Edita Sitar Snowman quilt finished. Isn't that precious? It's so nice to be able to decorate the house with your own artwork. Here it is, all quilted and bound. This woman never sleeps. Never sleeps. We're sure of that. Or she is the fastest thing, I tell you. She can run circles around all of us. Okay. Now, Jody, Linda, Nadine. Nadine showed us pictures. We've got her new little kitty who was a poor little homeless wild kitty that she took in, who has decided that he really likes it there, or she really likes it there. I think I would too if I got to lay on a sheep's pelt. Look at this beautiful Christmas quilt. I love it. Okay. Look at this. This she named Pink. Was it Pink Sherbet? Something like that. That was a sunrise this morning in Germany. Is that beautiful or what? Absolutely gorgeous. And she loves to take sunrise photos because it reminds her that no matter how stressful life can get, there's so much beauty all around us. And here again is her cute little new kitty. That is a very happy kitty. Here's part of her Christmas quilt. Then she's shown us she is making gingerbread cookies for Christmas. And they look so, so good. So good. And look at these. She must have a stamp for these. I forget the name of these, but isn't that beautiful? There is a name for stamped cookies. And look at these. She put a little icing. I wonder, is that on the relief part or did she paint it on? And they're gorgeous. Way to go, Miss Nadine. Look at the deer up here, the tree, the snowflake, the angel, and the gingerbread woman. Love it. Way to go. And here is a Christmas quilt she made on the bed. I have never made myself a Christmas quilt for the bed yet, and I really wish I had. So I guess there's always next year. Here are some snowflake window treatments she made to give herself that snowy, beautiful feeling every day. Beautiful. And look at this gingerbread house and all of the decor. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay, that's Miss Nadine's. Beautiful job, Nadine. And this is Nancy, better known as Golden Quilter. And here is her neighborhood in Colorado. Beautiful snow way back on Thanksgiving. Ah, just gorgeous. Okay, let me see. And this is her beautiful art space. Can't wait to see her come back and share more with us, her great work. Okay, now who are we going to go see now? Let's see. Oops. What did I? Oh. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry about that. I will go back to this. Patricia Fry, we saw these last week, but they're worth a repeat. Here's her granddaughter with a gift that she made. There's a tote for the son. The great advent calendar she made for her kids last year, grandkids. And here's an apron kitchen grill set she made. So she has been very busy, and I know they appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. And here's Cheryl and her hubby at Mount Airy, better known as Mayberry. And Mark and I drove through there just recently just to have a day to get out, but we couldn't stop and visit anything, not with the COVID crisis. But a couple years ago, that's Cheryl Hogan and her husband outside Floyd's Barbershop. That is wonderful. Okay. I'm trying to think. I think that, Susan, I'm crossing my fingers that Susan's come out because I got her as an unusual form. And, okay, this is the test quilt she made. Wonderful job. And then let's see if the others will show up. I'm not sure they will. Let's see. Nope. Unfortunately, I could not. Okay. That's all for those. I'm sorry, Susan. I can only download them a certain way. And it's kind of tricky figuring out what that way is. And since I don't really know computering all that well, sorry, I'm not a child of it, but I will show you some more photos of Susan's work as soon as I can get them and can actually download them. Okay. Oh, thank you. That is fine, sweetheart. Okay. So those were your wonderful photos. Now I thought before we leave, I'd like to show you how easy this quilt is to make. Okay, because you could work this up in a day and either have it as a gift or keep it on your wall. And like I said, it's not going to be that big. And so I have these little miniature ornaments, and I have little buttons and little beads that I'm going to decorate it with it. If you want to, you could take bits of fabric, put fusible behind it, cut them out, and iron them on. But I'm going to decorate this. So, all right, here we go. And let's see. All right, So I'm going to bring it down. Okay, this is very, very simple. All of the blocks start with 2-inch blocks. It tells you when you get the free pattern, it will tell you how many 2-inch blocks you need. It will tell you for the half square triangles how many 2 7/8 or 2 and 3. She did 2 3/8. But you know what I do anymore? I'm used to it being 2 7/8, and then I cut it down to the size. But whatever way works for you. And I actually made them even bigger. But I guess 2 3/8 would be right. I guess I did them big enough that if the blocks were 2.5, it would be the right size. But anyway, the good thing is, let's say you make them too big. Then you take and you press it with the fabric to the dark. I'm just going to run my fingernail across right now. All you have to do, if you make it too big like this, all you have to do is put your 2-inch template in the corner and then trim it down. And remember, I told you I made a template because I was sitting on the couch and I wanted to be able to cut all the blocks out just in a very relaxing way. So I made sure to tear 2 even 2-inch strips and then subcut down into the 2-inch blocks. Okay, so it's that easy. And I will show you real quickly how to make a half square triangle. Let me find what did I do with my large white blocks? I must have dropped them somewhere. Okay, so I must have dropped it. So I'm going to cut out a big block. Because I already had these cut out, but I must have dropped them somewhere. So then I take the dark color. It's easier to see. And if it's easier for you to do the light color, and I fold it in half, okay? Then I take my fingernail and I score it, because they tell you to draw the line down the middle, but that's, if I've got my iron right near me, then I'll take 3 or 4 at a time and just iron them down the middle, okay? So I take this fabric and this fabric, put them right sides together. Then on my sewing machine, I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on either side of that center line. Now, you can't see that very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line right down the middle so you can see it. Okay, so I've got a white line right down the middle. Okay, so put these together. I keep the white line right up against my 1/4 inch marker. Let me see if you can see that. Okay, because I have a little 1/4 inch mark that helps me keep perfectly on the line. And I just feel to make sure that this white line runs right along that 1/4 inch spacing, because then I know I've got it right where I want, because I'm sewing 1/4 inch on either side of that center line. This will make 2 half square triangles. So again, I put that line over there against the 1/4 inch mark, and I start sewing down the other side. And if you cut accurately and sew accurately, you will get accurate piecing. All right, then I come in here with my scissors. Let me get the lamp in here, good. Get in here with the scissors, and I cut like a little V right here because I don't want the bunny ears on that. And then I cut straight up that line I already drew down the center of the blocks. Then when I get near the end, I veer over near that sewing line. I come back over here and veer near this. I leave 1/8 of an inch of the sewing line. Now, what I do is open this up, press it with my fingernail because I'm not at the iron, and do this with both of them. Press it with my fingernail. All right. Now, these are too big, but just like I did the other ones, I want to make sure to put it on a good corner that it meets right at that corner angle. Put it right there. Cut off the excess. And then I'll end up with a perfect 2-inch half square triangle. And you use these half square triangles on the top of the tree and the branches that come out at an angle to give it that Christmas tree shape. So here is my half square triangle. Okay. Now, here is my working copy that tells me what to do next. I will take 1, 2, 3 of my neutral squares, and I have those. I just am missing my, so I got 2 different kinds of fabric. One has little satiny snowball drops on it. The other one is just a good cream plain fabric. So what I'm going to do is I look at my second row and see you stagger the rows. So once you've sewn them, then you're just going to go along and clip off that extra. Okay? So now I started by overhanging the second row so you could get this offset pattern. It keeps you from having to match up your seam lines, which is really difficult. So this one I'll bring back. Now this one started with a dotted one, tone on tone. Now I'll start with just the neutral. Okay, so I'm making another row. All right. I'm going to start with the neutral. Grab a neutral, grab snowflake one. When I saw that fabric, I knew I needed this. Be very careful. So an accurate 1/4 of an inch mark right here. Then I'm going to take this out. Now, if I were working right now by myself, I would sew as many a bunch of this and this together because I know I'm going to use them all throughout the quilt. But I'm trying to show you this, so I'm going to do carefully 1 block at a time. Okay. Making sure to look at those blocks. If for some reason a block seems out of shape, double check it again, because if everything is the same size and you use a careful seam allowance, you'll get a much, much better looking quilt and an easier quilt. I've decided to take the seams and press them towards the snowflake fabric because that's a heavier fabric because of the snowflake design that was printed on the top. So now both of these seams are facing in. Another thing I do too often is where the seam allowance is going to be sewn, you can kind of grade. It's what we used to call in clothing when I used to work at the museum. grading the seams, where you take one and cut it a little shorter than the other. So that way, when these are laying down, it's less bulky where you sew it. So now I've got 3. 1, 2, 3. And I know that 1, 2, 3, the next one is going to be one of these. And I know it goes this way because it's another branch of the tree coming out. So I will take and I will sew this. And this is just how easy this is to do. I'm going to go ahead and grade these a little more so there's not so much bulk there at that seam. Okay, so let me sew these together a good, careful 1/4 inch. All right, I'm going to take this out. Now, I have to decide which way to turn this. So I think I'm going to go ahead. In this case, sometimes I will push the seam allowance away from the bulky block because this has a seam. So sometimes I'll push that way. I think I'll leave it that way. Usually, if you are not sure which side to push it, if you, let's say you have both the same colors, sometimes the fabric itself will tell you which way to turn it. All right. Now the next block I need is a solid for the tree. So I'm going to pick up this one. These are just cute little 2-inch blocks. I bet you could get this done in an evening with your sewing machine. Okay. Now I'm going to push the fabric towards the darker color, crease with my fingernail. Now it wants me to use another 1/2 square triangle block. So let me see what I've got. Here is one. And when I'm making this tree, I'm trying to decide which way is the light coming from. This is going to be my light side of the tree. This is going to be my dark. I don't know if I want to put 2 of these. Okay, let me see. This is going to go in like this. It's going to go in like this. Pardon me. I don't know if I want to put 2 of the same. So let me see if I have another one. That's a little light for that side. Now, you can make it as scrappy as you want. I don't want to use this on the same end. So I think for right now, I'm kind of at a stop because I would have to make more 1/2 square triangles. But hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing. Then you offset the rows. So you're going to have a jagged edge. Do not worry about that. I pin it because some of them, like this, fits in the middle really good. That's pretty good. This is a little off. So sometimes you have to kind of squitch them. But when I go to sew them together, I put right side rows together. I come in here, and we know this is the longer of the row, that second row. I put that right up there so it's right in the middle, and I pin it. Then I go down and make sure this seam goes right in the middle of that block. So I put it where it's supposed to be. And then I'll ease the fabric in if I need to. But I match up where it's supposed to be. Then I come along here. This seam right here is supposed to be right in the middle there. So I come and place that there. I just do that all the way down, making sure this seam is in the middle. Now, not this, don't look at this part. Look at where the seam itself lands and make sure it's in the middle. Then once I have this in place and I'm sure I've done it correctly, then you just put it under the sewing machine. So 1/4 inch. I did it again. I keep touching the wrong button. I'm sorry, camera. Come on. Come on. Okay. Whoops. All right. So I've got it down here, and then I just come in and sew 1/4 inch. Most of the time I sew 1/4 inch foot, but I do so many different things down here that I show you that often I just leave on this universal foot, and I rely on this little gauge here to tell me, run up the fabric along to make sure I've got my 1/4 inch. All right, and then I'll stop right there, and then let me show you. I'll pull it out, take out my pins. Okay, back this up a little bit, and here we go. And see, I didn't finish the row out, but you'll get a good idea. I think I'm just going to push this down with my fingernail. But you see how the tree's starting to be? So the quilt is not going to be any wider. Let me see what size. If you notice right here, I keep a measuring tape. It makes it so easy. So this is about 12.5 inches wide. And I'm going to take off a little bit of that. So the part of the quilt with the tree is 12.5 inches. Then whatever seam allowance you want to put on it. And next week, we're going to come put the border, and I will quilt it, and then we'll start doing the embellishing on it. This should be a lot of fun, and then I can hang it on the wall and have another Christmas decoration. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for letting me show you all the fun little things that I love to make. To me, this is saving this Christmas. I can't be with my kids and grandkids, which is where my heart is. But you know what? I'm going to make the best of it because I'm here and I'm healthy and I'm feeling good. And I don't want to miss this Christmas. I'll have Zoom meetings with my kids. So we'll sit and talk to each other online. But I'm going to make this holiday the warmest and the most fun that I can. We have a huge Christmas light festival at Tanglewood Park here in Winston-Salem. And they have a huge light show. And you sit in your car and drive through. That's perfectly safe. So we're going to do that one night this week. And I can't wait. And last night on YouTube, we watched the Walmart, what are they called? Drone. It was like, let's say it's Christmas fireworks, but it's with drones. And they do all kinds of sayings and shapes. And it was beautiful. So look for the Walmart Christmas drone show on YouTube. And you too can enjoy that. But these are the things. Oh, you couldn't find it last night? Mark finally found it. So keep looking. Maybe, hey, enough. I'm sorry. The dogs see something outside. But have a good week and do something just for you. For my Thursday night art quilters, I'm getting that itch again. So it won't be long until we put back our Thursday night art quilt night. So thank you so much. Take good care of yourselves. Please stay safe. A face mask saves lives, your life and others. Wear your mask. I love you the muchest. Have a great week and send me pictures of what you're working on because we love them. It inspires me as well as the rest of the group. Take good care. I'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye, guys. Have a great week. And Cheryl's sweet little dog that kept me company, her sweet little dog that kept me company, wishes you a good week too. Bye-bye, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you, Miss Susan. I'm going to get that package out. I promise. I promise.